Right, yes, team. I want to make this documentary more interesting. How do we do that? Well, we don't record our faces because obviously we want to stay anonymous. But what we do is we film us talking whilst moving the camera and setting up the chair, so they hear the noises that occur. Obviously, we might mess up the microphone noise, which is why I'm holding the tripod, so that we don't mess the microphone. This chair's quite heavy one-handed. So today, I'll talk more about what we're doing today in a minute once we've got good old cameraman. So let's check to see if it looks alright on the camera. Obviously we need our light, but that seems alright. Oh, whose son was that? Please don't tell me Albert's got it here and I've not noticed. Right, where is the light? Where is the light? I've got the light, turn on the torch. Put it in its spot. We're ready for Albert. Right, so I'm going to sit on the chair, just because I like sitting on the chair. Today's plan. So obviously we got the second to last chapter of the book that is being recorded. Yes, we are recording. Right, that is being written, and then tomorrow we'll have the last chapter. We will obviously be fixing the book, adding more to it, making it more publishable, because at the moment it's too short. I don't think Albert realised how short it is. We're going to add the bit in the beginning saying this book is dedicated to whatever, so we're going to explain to the purchasers that this book is based on our documentary, which is a continuation from our documentary, so that we A, promote the documentary, and B, they understand why the book's amazing. The cover we'll make the covers. We'll make sure the border, because we know from last time, we'll make sure the border is more of a blue, so we can have the image of an actual duck, and we'll give him a top hat. We won't give him arms, because that will look too weird, but we'll have that in the book, but we'll give the duck a hat, a top hat, because that'll be funny, and we'll call it A Duck Called Dave, or Dave's Wild Adventures, or something. Okay, well, let's call it Dave's Wild Adventures. There we go. So we need to bulk out each chapter to make it more better and spaced. And then we have to double check the format of the document so we can make it sure it's the right format for the book. And then we have to make sure it's all spaced correctly so that it reads properly. We have to do all the standard checks, but we'll do that so that Albert doesn't have to do that. Albert can do anything else, if that makes sense to me. That makes perfect sense. Let me just move the chair forward. I feel like it needs to be closer to the camera. So, I think that makes sense. I think we should crack on then. If anyone else agrees, let's crack on. Right, I'll go get Albert. He's having another Albert loves a good cup of tea. He's having another cup of tea downstairs. I also want to mention that I know that he only mentioned it at the beginning, really briefly. He had a Twitter account. I don't know if any of you followed him. I sure did. But he has cancelled that. I wanted to make sure it is clear on the documentary that there will be no more posts on that Twitter account, because he ran out of things to say. He wanted to say something about the PR team and Eurovision, but he couldn't think of anything else to say. And he stopped talking to the PR team whilst we're filming because I'm talking to him, and he's got confused about who he actually needs to discuss about stuff anymore, whether it's not his PR team or his agent, because his PR team went with him to Alan Partridge, but his agent helped him get this documentary, I think. I don't know the ins and outs, but we just need to not broach that with him. I do know you've all been asking me about this when we've been out in production meeting this morning, which went well, I'll admit. So please do let me know if you need anything. But we'll crack on. I'll turn this one off so that we can start a new recording for Albert. Right, Albert, you can come through now. Albert, come this way. I'll come and get you. So you didn't want me to do the captain this week then? No, right. Hello, documentary. Hello. they didn't want me to do the cap this episode. Yay! More fun for the editors. I quite like the editors on this documentary. I've not seen any of it yet, but I've heard good things about it. I'd give them a round of applause. Well done! Well done, editors! Woo! Well done, editors! Well done, editors! So, what's today's plan, you might be asking, dear BBC viewers? Well, we want to make this episode longer than 17 minutes, because I know they were telling me that I was 17 minutes. We want it longer than that. So, I'm going to sit here and witter on for about 3 minutes. I don't know. So, today's plan. I've got a bad cough now. Today's plan is to talk about the next chapter. We're going to write about Dave meeting the I'm going to jump it. Dave meeting the Queen and becoming a Sir. So, we've already got it established that the book's called Dave's Magical Adventures. The team were telling me about this. I love that idea. But I know the book, but there isn't. But the plan is this, as follows, right? This chapter is all about Dave being a duck, right? And he's been knighted Sir Dave, right? But how did he meet the Queen? What was her reaction to a talking duck? Has she ever knighted a talking duck? Now, I've never been to one of those ceremonies, so I don't know if this is going to be a good chapter. Because I don't know how they work. I know that you go on one knee and you get the sword, but I don't know if they do the sword bit anymore. So, I've never actually seen that happen. I won't be doing research. I just, we haven't got enough time for that. As always, we're on a time limit with this documentary, so I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be a tricky one, but we are going to solve it together. We're gonna solve it together. Right, so, oh yeah, the background is on. So what I'll do, I reckon, I'll just crack on, I reckon. Stop dilly-dallying and crack on, because we haven't got all the time in the world, because currently, I've got my telephone here. The time is 10:26. Well, it's not my telephone, really. My telephone's somewhere else. But this is the production company's the director's telephone, and he wants me to use it to check the time for the documentary. So it's on a fancy phone. It's 10:26. We had lunch early, so we don't really have a lunch travel nightmare to hurry up with, but we do want to get it over and done with. We want to be able to spend, pardon me, have the windy pops. We do want to spend more time writing the book than chatting, so... Oh! I can go out. I forgot the producer gave me this on my way in. So, I'll do the cap thing. Or not, no? Yes, I'll do it. And we'll set that up, because I know it's not set up currently. I'm looking at it now, it's nowhere near set up. So, I'll set that up and then come back here and do the next bit. Yeah? Okay. Right. I'm gonna have to go and set that up. Like they told me to. It's on now. The cap's on. If you want to talk to me, you can now. Right, yeah, yes, right. So, we need to set that up. It really isn't set up. So, we're going to set that up, and then we'll tell you when to press record and crack on. So, would you be able to, well, just stand over there. Stand over there whilst I set this up. Right, thank you. Oh, and also, would you be able to turn this off? What you do is you press the red button and it turns off. Right, thank you. Right, so let's get ready to record the computer. Now, right, so let's begin with Right, let's begin. So, when Dave, spell Dave correctly, please, Albert. When Dave was knighted, when Dave was knighted, he went to see the Queen. Full stop. Dave was very nervous. I spelled nervous as quickly as I could. Why was he nervous? Well, nervous because he had only seen the Queen on TV at Christmas and never in person. When it was his turn, he waddled. Spelled waddled correctly? Yes, no? Computer, you decide. You decide. Waddled up to the Queen, and she looked as shocked to see a duck as the rest of the others. Shocked to the and she looked as shocked to see the duck as the dogs were. The Queen did not, the Queen was still happy to knight him. Full stop. Once she had knighted, spelled knighted right please, Albert, knighted him, she wanted to have a cup of tea to find out more about him, as she had never made a duck a sir before. Right, that is the errors fixed, full stop. Right, let's write about the experience of the tea and then we'll finish there. Right, okay, so at the table, the Queen was very interested in how interested about how Dave became a hero and why he was the first duck to be a lifeguard. And they spoke for about 3 hours and became best friends. There we go. Final chapter will be next, and we're going to wrap it all up about how he lived happily ever after. So there you go, there's the chapter done for today. So I'll stop recording this now, the screen, if that's alright with you lot. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. What a fantastic chapter. Right, yes, Albert, I know you caught the light, so thank you for not breaking our equipment. You can turn the light off now, right? Thank you. The chapter was good. Obviously, we'll have to do some tweaks to make it more interesting with the wording, so add more ands, buts, because and yeah, I'm quite liking this book. I am going to do some tweaks with my team and make sure it's published ready and just bulk it out and add more words to it, yes, but at the moment it's fantastic. You'll be able to read it out, the final copy, on our special that we're doing. That's why we're making this what you call it, documentary. I'm going to call it a documentary. Anyway, we've got that covered. So we want you back here tomorrow to film the final episode of the documentary, final chapter. We'll do the end credits, like thank you to whoever. We'll do the opening for this book is better there, and we'll do all the format checks, the covers, the back covers, the blurb, the you know what. We'll do everything else. You just have to write the chapter. We'll tweak it, fix it, do everything we need to do to make it publish ready, so that we don't upset my boss. But we'll sort everything else out. All you have to do is just come in, do your bits, and go home. Well, you're already at your home, but we'll go home. So I'm very excited to work with you in the future, and I'm very much enjoyed this so far. I am quite sad that it'll be over tomorrow, but who knows if this will be so successful, we'll get a second documentary out of this. Who knows? Who knows? I don't really know. I never really find out till the day of the event. So I don't know. I know as little as you do, Albert. Right. Well, thank you. I want to know one thing. So, how much work do you have to do on the book? Like, you know, as I've written it and all this. Well, we have to just make sure that it aligns with what the BBC want. Like, as in, like, is it publishable ready by their standards, not just by everyone else's standards. We also have to make sure that we've got it formatted correctly and the text aligns with how it's going to look on the page. Because I've got a few template checkers online. So there's quite a lot to do. But that's not because your book's terrible. It's because there's a lot of format issues, and then make sure the words spell correctly, and just make sure the odd bits and bobs that we haven't yet seen when you were originally writing it. Oh, well, that makes perfect sense now. Thank you for that. I think I'll let you go now, because oh well, I'm gonna be having my tea later. I'm having a stew, I think. I'm not too sure. I don't think these things far in advance like I should do, but there you go. So I'll let you get on, and yeah, have a great day. Bye. I don't know why I said bye to you. We're going to be leaving through the door at the same time. We just have to stop this because I just realised that we kept it going. I'll press stop now then. Shall I? Yeah.